Okay. So in terms of your anxiety, how would you say it has impacted you and affected you?
Well, it's really hard for me to go out with my boyfriend.
Okay.
He wants to go like to the movies and to dinner and shopping, and I just can't bring myself to go.
Why do you feel like you can't go?
There's always so many people, and I don't know. I feel like I'll do something stupid, and everyone will think I'm stupid. I just don't want everyone to, I don't know, think bad about me and criticize me.
Those must be some hard feelings to deal with, to feel like everyone is criticizing you.
It's just easier to stay home.
So, when you're having these anxious feelings, how do you feel like your body is reacting? What is going on within your body? What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking I'm gonna die. My heart starts like racing, and I get all sweaty, and my breath starts like going so fast, and I just feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Those are very scary feelings.
Yeah.
Can you remember the last time that this happened?
Probably the last time I was in class, because I don't really go out much anymore.
Tell me about that time.
We were doing a group project, and I don't know. It was really hard for me. I hate doing group work because I feel like everyone thinks I'm like so stupid, and they're all like thinking bad thoughts about me. I just kind of sit there and I don't really do anything. Like, I don't really participate. And then we had to like fill out this form for like all of the other students and like rate how well like we all worked in groups. And they didn't really say that I had done well. So I mean, obviously they were thinking the thoughts the whole time that I thought that they were thinking.
Now, do you know that they gave you those kind of reviews? Did you see those forms?
Yeah, the professor handed it back out, and I don't know, ever since then I just haven't gone back.
You've not returned to class?
No.
So, you feel that in order to avoid this anxiety, maybe you're just not getting into situations where you feel that way, so just going to class?
Yes.
Okay. So have you stopped going to all of your classes?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like that has helped your anxiety?
Well, that, and I just don't really go anywhere. Like, when I want something to eat, like, I'll go through the drive-thru, and I do my shopping online.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any friends.
When was the first time you remember having this anxiety?
It was about 3 months ago.
What happened then?
I had to give a speech, and I had practiced probably for like 2 days, at least like 10 times. I practiced in front of the mirror, and I practiced all the way to school, and I got up there and I couldn't remember anything. And, everyone just kind of stared at me. I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't remember it. But I mean, I knew it. I knew the speech, but I don't know for whatever reason, and it was so like horrifying that everyone was staring at me, and I don't know. They must have been thinking that I was a complete idiot. Like, who would get up there so unprepared and not even know there was a speech? And I started sweating, and my neck like started turning red like it does sometimes. And everyone could see I was sweating. It was really embarrassing, and my voice was shaky whenever I would try to like give the speech, and my heart was racing, and I don't know, it was just horrible.
It seems as though you're having a reaction right now, just speaking about this incident.
Yeah.
How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling pretty anxious. Like my hands are sweating really bad, and my breath is like going really fast too. I don't know. I don't really like talking about it.
That's understandable, especially when you have these kind of feelings that people are scrutinizing you and judging you. Do you feel like you have any sort of support system? Can you go to your parents or your boyfriend?
Not really. My parents aren't really around that much. My boyfriend just kind of thinks that it's a girl thing.
So it seems as though you said that this anxiety is affecting you on multiple levels. You haven't really maintained any sort of friendships. You've lost your friends. How do you feel like it's impacted your relationship with your boyfriend?
He really likes going out a lot. So unless he like comes over or I go to his house, we don't really get to spend that much time together. And lately he's been asking me like less and less to do stuff together.
Do you feel like prior to feeling these anxious feelings, your relationships and situations and relationships with school were different?
Yeah, I'm actually about to fail 2 of my classes right now, and I've always had really good grades.
So prior to having these anxious feelings, you were a relatively good student, you said?
Yeah.
And your relationship with your friends, family, and boyfriend were better, worse, about the same?
Like I said, my parents haven't ever really been around that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it hasn't really like impacted that aspect, but as far as like my boyfriend and my friends, it's, I don't know, it's been tough.
So it seems as though this anxiety has taken up a big part of your life. It's impacting how your body feels and how you feel about yourself. It's impacting how you relate to other people and how you do in school. And it seems as though this is a very difficult thing for you. And I understand why, with all of these things going on and it being affected by the anxiety, I can understand why it would be very devastating and very difficult to deal with. So I understand that you've tried some things in order to alleviate or deal with the anxiety. And the one that sticks out to me most is you said that you just stopped going to classes and you don't participate as often. And in terms of your friends and family, you haven't been talking with them as often. Is that about correct?
Yeah.
Have you tried anything else to deal with your anxiety?
I tried going to like the school counselor and like talking to her, but I didn't go to my appointment.
So did you set up the appointment and not go?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I didn't want to go to school that day.
Okay. So you wanted to go to the counselor.
Yeah.
And you didn't go because you didn't want to go to school today. That day, excuse me. So is coming to see me today different from going to see your school counselor?
Yeah, I mean when I came in, there was just like the one person at the desk, but her office is kind of like down like the main hallway, and there's always like people at their lockers or whatever, and you have to go by the lunchroom, and it's like during lunch for some people.
So you said that going by all of these people makes you anxious. So actually even attending the appointment with the counselor was difficult for you. And in fact, it's not possible because you didn't want to be around all of the other people. Is that correct?
Well, I felt like they knew why I was going. Because some of those people were like in my class that day, and I don't know. It was just kind of embarrassing.
That's understandable. I understand. Well, it's very brave of you to come today to speak with me, and I want you to know that I'm glad that you're here. And in terms of how you're dealing with your problems, I understand where you're coming from and trying to stay away from situations that make you anxious. Have you tried anything else? Have you thought of what would happen if you couldn't avoid this situation? For instance, if you had to give a speech in school.
I just wouldn't go.
You wouldn't go?
I wouldn't go.
How do you feel in other situations where you are around large groups of people, such as at parties or maybe at work?
Oh, I don't go to parties.
You don't go to parties?
No.
Did you ever?
Yeah, I used to. With my boyfriend, we used to go a lot.
And when has that changed?
Within the past 3 months.
So would you say that your relationship with your friends and your prior behavior has changed drastically? How do you feel about these changes?
I don't know. It's really scary because I don't know why it's happening to me, and I don't want it to be happening.
That's understandable.